Good evening. This is CTV News. I'm Byron Scott.
And I'm Patricia Malone. Thank you for joining us tonight. Well, many hospitals are crammed with patients suffering from the flu, and it could continue for some time since the season has not yet peaked. Denise Douglas visited a hospital in Cheverly to see what they're experiencing.
This is a pretty bad flu season, as you have been hearing. Not only is it more widespread, but it is lasting longer for those people who get sick. We talked with healthcare experts as to why this might be the case, and they tell us that there is no clear-cut answer, but emergency rooms are being bombarded with people. Here at the University of Maryland Prince George's Hospital Center, they've seen about a 10% jump in patients coming in with flu-like symptoms. We talked with Dr. Douglas Mayo about what he is seeing.
And we're seeing a lot of people who absolutely test positive for the flu, who actually had the flu. We're seeing some that are negative, that test negative for the flu, who probably have one of the other viruses that's going around. We know that there's a lot of illnesses, and again, there are a lot of viral illnesses that are going around. Obviously, we know some of the patients that are sick are with the flu, but then there's obviously ones who have other illnesses as well. It's tough to say. I mean, I think some of it is obviously we obviously encourage people to get vaccinated, and there's definitely some benefit to it, but we also know that the vaccine is a little bit of guesswork. It's educated guesswork. They try to predict what they think is going to be the strain that hits us, and they prepare and do that, and it's not always a perfect match. So sometimes that flu vaccine isn't absolutely protective.
Okay, for anyone who thinks they might have the flu, here is some advice from healthcare experts. They say to contact your primary care provider. That will prevent you from going to the emergency room. Also, get plenty of rest and drink fluids. Avoid crowded places, and also stay home from school or work. That will prevent you from spreading the virus. I'm Denise Douglas, CTV News.
And here's some other useful advice if you think you have the flu. Regularly use a hand sanitizer and cover your mouth and nose when sneezing or coughing. Well, despite cold temperatures, Prince George's police are warning motorists not to warm up cars without being in them. Police say 37 vehicles have been stolen this year because owners cranked up their cars without remaining inside. The unattended vehicles are an easy target for car thieves, according to police.
Warm-up thefts. We know it's cold outside. We know how painful it can be to walk outside in those frigid temperatures, and you get in that cold car. May seem like a good idea to go out, put the keys in the ignition, start that car, get it nice, warm, and toasty before you get in it and drive off, but it is the perfect opportunity. You are handing the keys and your car to thieves.
And police have a simple message: warm up your car, stay in your car, and keep your car.
A state commission has issued recommendations it says will protect the residents of Maryland. It's all laid out in the Consumer Protection Commission report that was released today. The proposals include a student loan bill of rights, mandatory public reporting by credit agencies of data breaches, and a crackdown on payday loan lenders. Now, lawmakers say the findings in the report will be the basis of new legislation.
What this bill will do is protect Marylanders from the deregulation of Wall Street that the Trump administration is executing right now. 10 years ago, hundreds of thousands of people lost their jobs, lost their homes, lost their retirement savings because we took the guardrails down on Wall Street. Well, in Maryland, we're going to put the guardrails back up.
The recommendations also include increased funding for the state attorney general's office to help fight consumer fraud. Well, Delegate Al Carr wants to change the way candidates are listed on the ballot. Carr has introduced a measure that would list names in random order as opposed to alphabetically, which is the current system. More than half of states, seen here in blue, list candidates in random order. Carr says it creates a fairer system.
There is actually a benefit, especially in down ballot races, for where you appear in the alphabet, and so this would make things more fair and more neutral.
If the bill passes, it will go into effect January 2019.
Well, one man is dead and 2 Maryland state troopers are recovering from gunshot wounds after a domestic dispute turned tragic in Allegheny County. Police say the incident began Thursday around 11 p.m. in the western Maryland town of Little Orleans and wasn't resolved until Friday morning. The man's wife called authorities after she got into an argument with her husband and he threatened her with a gun. The state police tactical assault team tried to get the unidentified man to surrender, but he refused. When the team entered the home, the man exchanged gunfire and was fatally shot.
The University of Maryland is taking new steps to implement diversity initiatives. The school plans to spend $3.8 million on the measures. They have hired a firm that will take climate surveys on campus to measure inclusiveness. A rapid response team has also been created to handle bias and hate incidents. The steps come after the brutal slaying of Richard Collins on the campus last May. Collins was a Bowie State student who was celebrating his graduation when he was allegedly stabbed by UMD student Sean Urbanski.